We have actually, even before it was decriminalized. There have been certain films that have dealt with the issue of homosexuality, and you also have to understand the history behind it. Section 377, which is what it was called, was a British law that was brought in the 1800s when we were a British colony, and stayed on. And a lot of the activists were working towards decriminalizing it and abolishing that article. It was called, if I'm not mistaken, and if history serves me well, it was known as the Buggery Act, which was an English law. And they decriminalized it, and the Supreme Court of India, the Honorable Supreme Court, has finally said that it's not a lawful act, and they've thrown it out. I think what's wonderful is for a country which is merely 70 years old, to take a step like that is it shows the kind of progression that's happening in India, especially from a mindset of the youth. So I think it's a wonderful step in the right direction, and these things will start reflecting even more. There will be a lot more freedom. I think the wonderful thing about Indian cinema is, it's like I said, it's its own universe. I think world over cinema has at certain times reflected politics of the country at that point of time, has helped form opinion on politics. I don't think India does that. Indian cinema is completely different. Indian cinema, by and large, is very escapist by nature. You go into a film, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to fall in love, you're going to hate, you're going to see some action, you're going to get every emotion that there is possible, achieve poetic justice at the end of 3 hours, go back, and that's it. I think the function of Indian cinema is come in, forget your worries for 3 hours, let us transport you to a different world, and then come back and then carry on with your lives. What I like about Manmarziyaan, or as they know it over here, husband material, is that I think it's a wonderful bridge between quintessential Indian cinema, with its usual tropes that it does have, and a cinema that is also coming out of India, which is more accessible and understandable to a foreign audience. I think Anurag is one of the first directors that started forging that bridge and building it. I like the fact that it's a marriage of two worlds. You know, Anurag's more contemporary world with a very Indian backbone to the story.
As far as you talked about Indian representation, obviously there's a lot of offensive representation. There's actually a documentary done about the Simpsons and Apu.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I don't make too much of a deal of it. I think somewhere we're getting a bit too highly sensitive about everything as well. I went to university in America. I grew up watching The Simpsons. It's okay. We can't be so sensitive about everything as well. Yes, let's not, do something outwardly to offend a particular community. But, I mean, also somewhere, look, it's The Simpsons, okay? It's not life-changing. You have to learn to laugh at yourself a bit. And I'm okay with these things. I don't really think much about it.
You have been referred to in the West as the Brad Pitt of India.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. How does you
That's
feel
embarrassing.
about that? How do you feel about that?
No. He's a wonderful actor. Somebody, we've all grown up admiring. And no, yeah, wow. No, that's embarrassing. Sorry, Mr. Pitt.